We're building a camper plane from a box. We're Aaron and Paul, two pilots turning a pile of airplane parts into a modular, go-anywhere flying home. This week we took our fabric work to the next level, learning to stitch, starting the double covering process, and slowly making these control surfaces look like actual plane parts. And things are going smooth right up until we stab one of our flight controls and have to start over. Welcome to Fabricking Boot Camp.
So last week, Virgil and Mackenzie, the owners of Bearhawk, got together with Paul and I, and we kind of game planned the rest of this build in order to be on time so that we can make our goal to Osh. We kind of hope that the whole camper plane is done by then, but if it's flyable, that also works. So after talking to them, we made some goals of everything we needed to get done each week so that we can be on track in order for us to make Osh. So this week we're gonna be fabricking. Well, this whole month we're gonna be fabricking. And we got a whole list of things we have to accomplish. Starting off, first we're gonna be covering the horizontals, rudder, and elevators with their first layer of fabric. These haven't been touched yet, so they got a long way to go. After that, we're gonna finish up the trim tabs and the gear legs, along with completing the horizontals, rudder, and elevator with their second layer of fabric. Not gonna lie, this looks a little intimidating, so we'll see how this goes.
All of your fabric on like all these flight controls that we're doing, you want the seam to be on the bottom because we're doing a double cover, so you can completely hide the seam where no one's ever gonna see it. We're gonna get this square for where when you wrap it, it's gonna wrap straight back onto itself. Does that make sense?
Yep.
So that side's straight, so that's what we're gonna go off of. So I'm gonna bring this up here and I'm gonna trace this leading edge just to give me a shape here. And then I'm gonna offset it back just a little bit. I'm just gonna wrap that, and then I'm gonna tack it into here.
You wanna join in the fabric party today?
No.
Okay.
I'm just gonna watch. So I'm gonna just start a YouTube and just video my day-to-day life and post it with
show us
no
your shed
comments
hunting.
on.
We'll subscribe.
Well, sometimes I'll take some small, short videos, but it's like because I'm sending it to a buddy or something.
Comment below if you want to see Ty's YouTube channel. Ty's applied a first layer of thick glue, so we're gonna wait for that to dry, and then we're gonna add a second one. Until then, while we're waiting for it to dry, we're gonna head back to the elevators. I guess start ungluing the elevators.
This is where the hinge needs to be in the fabric because you can't move it side to side once you fabric cover it. I'm just gonna put some glue in here, and then I'm going to
Stick it in there.
Do not get glue in this hinge.
Okay.
Whatever you do, be so careful that you don't. You do need it all on this
Okay.
and all of this, but do not get it in this hinge.
Not to distract you guys, you should actually open the box. We should open the box. Got the package, Mom and Dad. Aaron, I hope you enjoy these gifts. We got the idea when Ty said you dress like city people. Oh my gosh. Ty, I got work clothes.
You putting yours on?
Ty's never been happier. Look at him.
That should be your work clothes.
They're too nice.
Yeah.
Wow,
Oh, I thought those were your flight suits.
Yeah.
Don't work in those.
It's gonna be 80 degrees here today, so these may have to come off for today.
But when it gets cold and we're painting, this is a definite.
Yeah. Thanks, Lauren Joe.
Thanks, Mom and Dad.
Come on, move it over. Let's
My gosh, Aaron, you're doing so good.
Wow, thanks, Ty.
I think you're using thick. Bad, Aaron.
Okay. Good job, Aaron. Bad, Aaron. It is 11:13 p.m. So to say I feel like we're gonna get all of this done in a week feels a little overly optimistic, even for the two of us.
But hopefully we get faster.
Yes, I do feel like I'm starting to understand fabric more. I walked in today and I was like, I still don't know what I'm doing. But I feel like by the end of today, Paul gave me a little shake and was like, come on, bro, you got this. I kind of needed that because I was double checking everything with Ty, and I need to like not do that so much and then just trust what he's told me and what I remember.
To some degree, I feel like today we were signed off for our solo, like aviation cliche there, but truly I felt like we were just pushed off the deep end, like, okay, I've taught you enough, now go do it and make mistakes.
I didn't have the horizontal done by the time he left for today, so it was up to me to continue working on it myself. And we got her done, and I didn't need Coach next to me. I think we're gonna head home to bed, and I'm kind of nervous to see what Ty says about the rest of the work I did on the horizontal, but I think it's okay. I had Paul double check it, but we'll see what he says in the morning.
Did y'all do this by yourself?
I did. What do you think? I actually finished it.
Yeah, I couldn't believe you actually listened to me.
Hi.
Here at Bearhawk, we use a stagger wing hitch. We use it because we're a bunch of idiots, and it's the simplest knot.
The stress. I'm feeling lighter. I'm finally feeling like I can breathe. The night is cold.
I'm sorry.
Why are you apologizing?
Because I forgot. We gotta put it down.
You got a what? So don't keep going.
The simplest knot.
Don't cut your fabric.
All right, one more time. Oh, this is so sad. This is all that hard work.
Yeah.
Round 2.
So we're gonna lay this stitching tape down on top of every rib where we're gonna stitch. And then we'll cut that along the weld right here. So we're gonna start by coming up to the bottom on the right side from my point of view. We're gonna bring all our slack up here on top, go back down on the left side, and then we're gonna pull this all back through and leave us just a little loop on top. And then we're gonna come back up through that first hole in front of this loop. We're gonna turn this loop clockwise over the needle. We're gonna drag it through while holding on to our tail down here, because you will just pull this through. Cinch that down. We're gonna put a half hitch in it to lock that knot. So we're gonna come under our stitch, over our excess, get that tight, and then bring our half hitch down and lock that knot. All right, next one's all yours. Is that good enough explanation?
That was great, Ty.
Will that work for your video? Oh yeah. Shut up, bitch. Go.
We have a gift for you from Oklahoma City. We hear it's the best toothpicks in Oklahoma. Oh my God. Used so sparingly.
All right, first thing is done stitching. Just finished it up. Erin's still working on hers a bit, but that is all done.
Bye, Cash. See you later. All right, Paul, you ready?
Yeah, let's go shed hunting.
Yeah.
Whatever this is. Let's go, Ty!
Whole gang's back together. If we don't find antlers today, are you gonna consider us bad luck, or would you go with us again?
No, I'd go again.
Well, if anyone finds themselves out in Fairview, Oklahoma anytime soon, we know a great tour guide for you. He's super friendly.
No.
He's single. All right, so our audio cut out here, but somewhere between fabric covering, gluing, and stitching, Ty convinced us to go shed hunting. And as two Arizona kids new to Oklahoma, we had absolutely no clue what that even meant. So for those of you like us, shed hunting is basically walking around a field looking for deer antlers. Think adult Easter egg hunt, minus the candy, plus cow patties, and questionable life choices. So about 45 minutes in, I stumbled upon my very first shed, and honestly, it was kind of a rush finding something just that cool, chilling in the middle of nowhere. As we were all headed back to the car, boom, 4 more antlers in like 10 minutes. Not too bad for a couple of first timers.
Paul found his first shed, Peter.
Congratulations.
Boy, thank you.
So cool.
It was a big day, and it was a big shed, you know? Yeah, it was.
Like a 12 by 12 shed, you know? Oh, you're talking about like an animal shed.
Yes, the animal. So cool to see a piece of fabric that's just a normal rectangular piece of fabric take shape around something. So like right now, I'm starting to make a bunch of cuts and tacking it in even more, and it's starting to look like an elevator, and it's such a satisfying process. It's definitely like a long and arduous process, but it is so satisfying to see it all come together. I'm hoping to get both elevators completed today. Erin has been sealing the weave this morning and doing some other stuff on the fabric, but I'm the one kind of tacking and everything right now. So starting to feel like we're getting a little bit of a flow down. I mean, it's only a couple days in, but it's starting to come a bit.
Now onto the rudder.
Why does it feel so real?
Wow.
Wait, they said 2 boxes in freight or something? It says it's from Hartzell to Aaron and Paul.
No way. So excited. Why is it when we get these big pieces in, it just feels like all the more real? She's coming together. This thing's huge.
Holy crap.
Yeah, it's your governor.
No way.
You want to look at the spinner?
Yeah.
Serious about that packaging.
Whoa.
First
yeah.
boop. Wow. She's like coming alive now.
The governor.
The governor.
So the flyweights are in there.
Yeah, all that stuff's in there, all kind of pre-made up. If you order from Hartzell, you give them your serial number, engine model number, and everything.
Yeah.
They pre-set up the governor and prop and everything. So
Oh, wow.
in theory, you might have to make some small adjustments on it once you do some ground runs, but largely they're pretty much turnkey.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah, it makes our job easier. At least you didn't get it fully covered before
What
we
happened?
realized. It's just covered upside down. No big deal.
I did the same thing to that one yesterday. I had to rip it off, start over. Now we're gonna rip this one off. Whoa. She toast. She gone now.
Oh, why does that just hurt you?
It is nice being a build assist because when the builders mess up, we have the assist to come in and help us.
Right, Ty?
Oh yeah, that's what that means. This is best case scenario that we caught you that you did it
Is
wrong.
it best case? Best
Well,
case
best,
would've been-
best case you do it right the first
Yeah.
time. But I'm saying for a screw up, like you're not very far along, so it's okay.
Tell me now, baby, would you come my way if I was a better man? If I could change, I would. But I find out.
I'm gonna start repainting the thick glue onto here, and then Ty was mentioning once the thick glue is covered, then I'm gonna thin it out and then start with the covering over here. I think that's the plan.
And I'm gonna finish my first side of covering on this elevator, and then I'll go ahead and, since I'm so proficient at elevator coverings now, I'm gonna go ahead and do the first covering on this one as well.
Team break.
We're just gonna put the double cover seam on the left side. So that way your right side is just a solid piece. On a normal airplane, you'll have a tape that there's a seam on both sides. But just for how we're gonna do it in the shop, we're gonna put the seam on the left side, making the side of the rudder that you're gonna be using the most solid. Now, my Uncle Eddie says that y'all need to make 2 videos a week. He's loving it.
Whoa! Uncle Eddie! Wow.
Y'all
Shout out
put-
to Uncle Eddie, right, Paul?
Yeah, you should actually put that in the video.
Kind of hoping that Ty takes over and does a control surface or 2 while we're gone. Please, Ty, help catch us up. I do feel like we got a lot of stuff done this week. It wasn't everything that was like on our goal list of things to do, but we also kind of couldn't finish the goal list because we found out a few days ago that we're missing the fabric to do the second cover for all these control surfaces. So the fact that we're almost done with the first cover for a lot of these, I think we're on track as much as we could be.
Yeah. It's also funny, the list that we made at the beginning of the week was like, hey, do the first cover of this, this, and this. But then we just forget that there's so many steps in the first cover. It's not only just covering, it's then, you know, sealing the weave and stitching and all this other stuff. So there's like a ton more that goes into it. So I feel
Yeah.
like that list should be exponentially longer than what it actually looks like.
Yeah, Paul, your 20 days of fabric, I think, is going to remain the 30 days.
And 30 days is optimistic at this point.
30 days is optimistic at this point. Ty's going to help us out, right, Ty?
Sure.
Anyway, ready to go to the airport?
Yeah, let's get out of here.
Just got back to the shop this morning, and it was the best surprise. I thought we were going to have to finish fabricking or doing our first layer of fabric for our rudder and elevators But no, Mackenzie and Ty ended up spending the weekend finishing the first layer for us.
The amount of time these flight surfaces take to complete, to have them done, I mean, this just saved us days.
I thought that was gonna be what was our first task today, was getting those finished, but they just bippity boppity boo finish those together. So we have to iron and stretch them out, get all the wrinkles out of it, and I think our first layer for these pieces are done.
I honestly think we need to travel more often if it keeps going like this.
Yeah, I'm loving this whole build assist thing.
I know, this is great.
In order to get the holes as close as you can to the rib is to cup your hand, especially with the direct light in here. It's kind of hard to see the rib underneath the tape. And so cupping it, you can create the shadow and you can see the rib underneath the tape, which has been kind of helpful. It's been helping me a lot, at least, with making it a little bit more accurate. I'm saying accurate in quotes because he's always having to redo a few things I do.
Do you want to retire from traveling and just become our painter? Shameless plug. We need a paint expert, so I don't have to paint anymore.
We're so freaking close to figuring out our paint scheme. It's so funny because before, when I started thinking of like painting our plane, I only really think of like the side fuselage, and there's just so much more to it. Thinking of the underbelly, the top, the wings. Yeah, there's just a lot to it. And then also trying to figure out what colors then next. And so we were taking some samples out the other day of like, well, what black? Who knew there were so many shades of black? And then if you want metallic or not, or how much flake in the metallic.
I know what color of flake.
What color of flake?
Did you hear Virgil say that the retro is growing on him, Aaron?
This, the whole scheme?
Yeah, he was like, it's kind of growing on me.
Virgil, you're a retro guy now, I hear.
To be honest, the first time you showed me that, I was like, dude. Throwing on me.
The more we look at this scheme, the more we see like an Arizona sunset, and I feel like that just pulls like our bit of Arizona with us everywhere. All right, so that's our scheme. I might have Autumn change the Aaron and Paul location on the tail so we can rendition some of that, but I think we're done.
Mackenzie's gonna be scared if like the three of us come back from the SOS tent. We're like, we found Ty, a girl. She's gonna be like, oh no.
54 machines. So let me stay out as late as I want.
Anyone going to Osh? Cheers. Hi, Cash. Hi, good morning, Cash.
That is a drip from the other side.
Yeah, and like there's some of these like puddle.
Well, like that over there by Aaron, I'm not even sure how the hell that happened. He just didn't let it dry long enough for this next coat. We're gonna just try to scuff out those high spots in the glue.
Hey, who made that drip?
Whoa, whoa, whoa. He forgot to tell me it has to dry first or something before I put on another coat.
I forgot.
That's crazy of him, right? It
No,
feels like
somebody
something
didn't
It
listen.
feels like something you would tell me.
That's it. You don't get any help this morning.
It's almost the afternoon now, and we haven't even started on double cover because we're still trying to figure out how to remedy this problem and find a solution for what I did yesterday. It's creating like this bumpy pattern on top of the surface of our coverings, and we're not sure why it happened. We're curious if it was too thin of glue, or potentially how I applied it, or maybe the first layer wasn't dry enough, or maybe we didn't allow for enough dry time between each layer. There's a lot of variables in this that could have affected it, and we're just not quite sure what I done did. Why it matters. Any texture on this fabric is now going to be visible through to our paint. So if we were to leave this texture that's on the top of the surface, so the paint would look textured now, and we don't want that. We want a nice smooth finish, and this is far from smooth. That's what we're trying to figure out how to fix.
What I think's so ironic about all this is that when we bought our house, you told me I could not paint anything because you were worried about the lines I would make on the walls.
Why is that ironic, Aaron?
I don't know, I just wanted to throw that in there.
Aaron, you're doing such a good job.
Thanks, Virgil.
Ty, that looks like crap.
That wraps up another week here in Oklahoma building our camper plane. If you are enjoying this chaos, make sure you hit subscribe so you don't miss what's coming. And if you've ever tackled a big project like this, tell us what you're building, what you're dreaming of, or what you're wandering into. Drop a comment and we'll see you guys next week.
You should grow a mullet now.
Oh my gosh.
It's not a bad idea.
You should.
Yeah, we just gotta get you a country girl then.
Well, I want the camera off.